Every living cell needs a continuous supply of energy. Without energy, a cell cannot function. Without enough energy, it cannot survive. But what determines how much energy reaches a cell, and what happens to a tissue when that energy becomes limited? In animals and humans, cells can be broadly divided into two groups. Some depend only, or mainly, on glycolysis. Others combine glycolysis with mitochondrial oxidation. Mature red blood cells are a clear example of glycolysis-dependent cells because they lack mitochondria. Many actively proliferating cells also maintain strong glycolytic activity. Even cells with active mitochondria are not fully independent of glycolysis. Glycolysis remains a universal and fundamental component of cellular energy metabolism. Cells also store glucose in the form of glycogen. This glycogen acts as a temporary energy buffer when external glucose supply falls. If glucose delivery becomes insufficient and glycogen reserves are exhausted, cellular energy balance fails. The risk of cell death rises sharply. This leads to the central concept of this model, the energy window. The energy window is the maximum metabolic energy flux that can reach a cell, tissue, or organ per unit time and be used in metabolism. In this model, the energy window depends mainly on glucose delivery and glycolytic energy production, so it can be approximated by glucose flux multiplied by its effective energy conversion. The same idea can be extended from a single cell to an entire tissue. A tissue also has its own energy window. The tissue energy window is the sum of the energy flux reaching all its cells. It depends on microcirculation, glucose delivery, and the accessibility of glucose to tissue cells. Tissue stability depends not only on incoming energy, but also on intracellular glycogen reserves. The more glycogen cells contain, the more stable the tissue becomes during short-term energy fluctuations. At the cellular level, this model defines three possible stochastic states: stationary state, division, and cytolysis. A cell remains in a stationary state when incoming energy is approximately equal to its maintenance demand. A dividing cell needs more energy than a cell that is simply maintaining itself. Division becomes likely only when energy exceeds both maintenance and division costs. If incoming energy plus glycogen compensation falls below the minimum required for survival, the cell undergoes energetic collapse and cytolysis. These transitions can be treated as a Markov process. The probability of division or death depends on the energy window and on glycogen reserve. At the tissue level, thousands of cells interact through the same energetic logic. This creates stochastic population dynamics. A tissue remains stable when the energy window is close to the total maintenance demand of its cells. Some cells divide, some cells die, but total cell number stays nearly constant. Growth occurs when energy flux exceeds both maintenance needs and the extra cost of cell division. Then the rate of division becomes greater than the rate of cell loss. Degradation begins when the energy window narrows. Incoming energy becomes insufficient. Cells consume glycogen, and cell loss exceeds cell replacement. When energy deficiency becomes critical, glycogen reserves are rapidly exhausted, many cells die, and tissue structure collapses. In this framework, tissues move among four principal macroscopic states: growth, stability, degradation, and collapse. Because cells differ in glycogen content and in effective energy supply, tissue behavior is probabilistic rather than perfectly synchronized. Energy flux sets the limit, glycogen sets resilience. The energy window model offers a simple way to think about how cells and tissues survive, grow, degrade, or collapse under metabolic constraint.